information to be understood by the mainstream.
Yeah, and that is what it is, isn't it? It's a whole lot of us that have got all this information, but to channel it down into a format so that people do understand it has and is a real difficulty, particularly because in a sense that's really what a lot of women have been like in essence. Yeah. So because we receive so much information and it's not always in that structured form, and because structured form tends to be, I don't like to say masculine, but more of a structure of certain, particularly sexes tended to have that. But we've got the ability. We've just got more inputs coming in all the time, which make it harder for us. So as you say, learning to do that. I know that we're live. I just saw as you were going, I thought, oh, we're live already. Okay, hello everybody.
Live already in the midst of the conversation, of communication.
Yeah, I was just listening to a Nassim Haramein, who's very much involved in quantum not neuroscience, but the quantum science space, and he talks about black holes and things like that, about also all about how you can validate the universe through them. And we were talking about how he kind of takes about half an hour to answer a question.
So, at least half an hour. I mean, it's the course which I recommended to others. Like, it's a free course, unified course on a newly found Resonance Foundation, which has got the logo of the Unity 8, Infinity 8. And all 6 modules are 2 hours long. So even though they're very interesting, and I'm a great fan of Nassim Haramein for many years, and I can totally feel into it, that he describes he was always an outsider. He had a lot of difficulty, also dyslexic, who was considered very strange and even dumb in younger years. And it took him a long time to be recognized for his quantum science, and especially the vacuum and the black holes, which has been one of the biggest scientists to push it forward. But like I said, I find it difficult, like after the first 2 models, which are always 2 hours long, that he takes like minimum of half an hour to answer a question.
So we were just having a laugh at that.
Yes, and it's like, it's a skill we have to develop also. And he is aware about that because he's feminine colleague. And this is the funny thing, because usually we women are said to take so long, to always explain ourselves in a mystical way, non-logical, And here is the feminine colleague. She was saying like, Nassim, please come to the point. I would suggest we are going to make those kind of calls like a speed dating format, where you're always giving a maximum of 6 minutes to answer. And this is a practice, and he was laughing because he's obviously aware that this is a challenge for him, that he's just going off on a rant. and I found it very difficult after the first 2 modules to listen to the whole 2 hours. To him answering.
I'm waiting. I'm swimming just gently through them as I sow a little bit and I hear a little bit, and I kind of wait through the one question and think, okay, I've kind of heard that bit of the question. I'll do something else for a bit and then come back. So I have to just move around, because he does definitely go all over the show, but he is such an amazing person, such an amazing.
Absolutely.
He's definitely shifting the quantum world on its head in a way. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, his words, "May the vacuum be with you." This is just my words of the weird, and and he is just so positive and future oriented. He also will speak about how the ancient civilizations already knew all of it, what is coming up now, and also all the mystics and shamans. I mean, he actually says himself, him as a scientist, he does not invent anything new. This has all been there. He's very respectful for everything which has come before, and very hopeful because all the inventions are already there in the universe, especially the energy, the free energy which comes out of this unified physics. And it's available already for a long time since Tesla invented it. And he also gives a lot of hope that now this big transition time is gonna have more opportunities to broadly make it available, those new technologies. So I really love him as a scientist coming to these conclusions, bringing that forward.
And I think that what's really beautiful is that, as he said, these technologies are here, they've been invented, and at one point they were stopped, they were not allowed to come in. And now, because we're getting this critical mass happening, more and more and more people are becoming aware of this kind of technology and more aware of the potential. And what ran for me at that moment was the 4-minute mile. Nobody at one time could run that 4-minute mile until Richard Bannister ran it. And then all of a sudden, the mile was broken. Like within the next 2 weeks, it was broken. He didn't hold his record for very long. So it just requires one shift that everything shifts. So, and what seemed almost like the glass ceiling now becomes non-existent. It moves into the whole new orbit or the whole new paradigm. So that is just, and he's definitely talking more about how this is shifting into this space, which I think that's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Yeah. And now it's really up to us now how to use it, how to find a way to use it. Yeah, in a way that raises the energy even more. And this weekend's one of those days, isn't it? So exciting. Tomorrow is the solstice.
And a great conjunction. The sun moves in Capricorn and into the age of Aquarius. It's like I'm certainly going to cling myself in with these elders with my unique box, which I actually have from Glastonbury. I was at Glastonbury before. This is the box. And I sent you an article I told about yesterday in Uluru, where there have been like elders in Uluru preparing a box which is hidden there. And this box stands for the womb of the earth. So this is a very important point. But there are also ley lines in Glastonbury, for example, or like in Beluga, where I've experienced my connection to my starseed Pleiadians. And it was actually the Pleiadians who have put the boxes in those places. And then all of a sudden, like, oh my God, because I collect boxes like from all around the world for years. And this is going to be my box for tomorrow, where I'm going to cling in. It's like where I put my intentions and everything in this box. And of course, it reminds me of the free flames of the womb, the heart and the intuition, which brings like this unity. The unity 8, which the Resonance Foundation has got as a logo. And so I will focus on that and do my meditation and also chant the Gayatri mantra, because my Vedic name is Gayatri. So this mantra is my favorite mantra, how I connected my Vedic goddess self. And I will cling in and send the love into all those ley lines. So they may be awakened and activated, so the womb can open and rebirth this new light and the new love. And this is where the spirit and the earth come in sacred union together. If a significant amount of people coming together and meditate on that to activate this birth of the sacred union. Very exciting, very exciting.
Mm. So that's 9 p.m. tomorrow night. So it's going to be sometime in the daytime for us for that time, isn't it?
Well, for us in Germany, it's 11:02 exactly.
11:02.
So for
So
you,
it'll
it
be
will be
10:02.
10:02 exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I saw, I know there are a few other people that are doing a lot of meditations around that time. So it'll be a good time to connect tomorrow at that time.
And of course, those energy are already active now, so we can do it anytime now. Like everybody's got their own rhythm or whatever we call, what the world calls us to do.
Yeah.
Like there's a great ceremony with Michael Mead, the mythologist, and the darkness singing. I've changed my Facebook title page with a link to that. And it will be in the middle of the night for us. But just by setting the intention to be part of this community and light a candle in your own time, and maybe you do your own mantra or your own meditation, whatever goes out to you, then we are already part of the interconnected web.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that feels very powerful. Then we are like conscious creators in this whole rebirth of the earth. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. And it's exciting. It really is an exciting time.
And it's all about healing, because today is day 24 and it's the Beregini of the healer.
Yes.
She's one of my main 7 standing for the future. Yeah.
All right. Wow.
So
Okay. Yes.
that's
Beautiful.
why she is here on my wings, pulling me forward. So she is like my future wings, the healer. And because I'm always doing like a prediction for the whole 12 months during the 12 sacred holy nights, this is also the energy for the whole month of December, the healer.
Right. Oh.
So very potent. Here, this funny. I closed it.
I know. I saw on your top it was white. Yeah, you didn't. Is there a reason for that?
But this is the right one to keep it white here. I don't remember why I did it. I think I just went with the flow and just closed it all. But today, for example, if I look at it, no, because this whiteness is important too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about, okay, when I do mine, and I thought, why is it so black? That didn't feel right. So I was already thinking that I didn't want it to be black. I already was thinking of putting white through it in a particular way. So that's interesting. Okay. So the white it will be in the middle.
Yes. So that's the original right symbol with the white in the middle.
And it makes sense, actually. It feels right, just when I saw on your dress rather than there. So that's quite interesting. Connecting to it from a different space. Yeah. Excellent.
Because that reminds us really of the Jesus Christ, isn't it? Crossed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. This is totally different energy. Like the magician, which was in a square
all
format.
The squares, yeah.
It's now giving more space in the middle. And I always imagine myself standing there in the middle and have then all the healing powers and energies from all sides and like bringing them to me, like
yeah, absolutely.
Feels much more in resonance compared to this one. But who knows, maybe some of you feel differently. This is an example, like in a moment it feels different, like what weaves through us. There is
Yeah.
no right or wrong.
And each one has a message for us. It's there for us to, it's our helper, isn't it? It's our helper, whichever way we look at it. If we do it just as black, then there was a reason for that. And
Yes.
just be curious, how come it landed like that? You know, that's a really interesting thing in itself.
Yeah, so should we invite in the healer, the
Yes,
helper
please.
and the healer?
I know. Okay. Yeah.
Shall I?
Do you want to? Yeah.
So the healer from the 8th circle of Nav, from the ancestor underworld, for healing and wholeness. I allow and receive healing. For healing, getting healthy, or for good operation. Yeah. And let's invite her in as well.
Mm-hmm.
May all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all beings remain free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings remain connected to sacred joy and happiness that is totally free from sorrow. May all beings come to rest in feeling of security and peace. May all beings be happy, content, and fulfilled. And I suppose then we are all healed, if that's like that. So be it.
So it is.
Be it, and so it is. Благодарю.
Amen. Right. The aura is coming up in a minute. Mm-hmm. So greenish, sort of olivey green and some blue.
Mm.
And some sort of whitish area here. I know that whiteness is meant to be spirit. So generally that's where white normally sits. So yeah, more green. And it feels like it's sort of fluctuating between the green and the blue. And it's sort of just, and the color green is not iridescent green. So I would say that green has got more yellow coming into it. So more energy from the solar plexus coming up. But when you see the picture, you'll see it's got much more white in it as well. This is quite white over here, this whole area. So it feels as though there's more energy, more higher frequency energy coming in. Yeah. I'm going to charge it. Yes. I'm going to just charge it while I give it a balance. Mm-hmm. And shall I do a tarot?
Yes, please.
Oh, 7 of Pentacles. So the 7 of Pentacles is the area That's for thought, the Seven of Pentacles. Let's just have a look. No, that's not thought. Yeah, that's Netzach, sorry. That's, yeah, that's emotion. That's about emotion, that level on the tree. So that's Netzach. So
We had her before, the Venus of the Golden Earth. I'm sure we had.
we haven't had her. We had the Knight of the Golden Earth. So the Knight of Pentacles we've had before. And yesterday we had the Knight of Wands. So it was a different, the Knight of the fiery earth.
Are you sure we didn't have had this before? It looks very familiar, the Venus and the Golden Earth.
Well, I think what's really interesting is that they haven't really, she hasn't really changed a lot of the whole message is always going to be around this area of the tree. The area, that's where the real messages are, which is the pathway of light to manifestation, which is down here. And basically that is, so I'm not sure if we've had the Seven of Pentacles. We've had a few pentacles, but not the seven. But I'll show you what the Seven of Pentacles looks like in the Rider-Waite. So that you have, because we had the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is recognizing, so you can see that's in the Rider-Waite. He's got all his things, he's stacked up all his work, he's got everything in the bank, but he's not finished yet. Yeah, he gathers the vessels. He's basically looking at all, the alchemy of the seven gathers into the vessels, all disappointments in the material world. So it basically looks at all the things that haven't been gone well and tells you to focus on the things that you have done well, so that you can truly appreciate that nothing is wasted and lost. So it's a little bit about yesterday, about the helper, remembering that all the things, all the experiences that we have, whether they are perceived to be good or bad, they are still there for our worthwhile, then nothing is wasted. It's there for a purpose. So it's really about looking at the lesson and seeing that lesson as the healing. Yeah. That's what it's more about. The seven is about looking at it. Don't get disappointed by what happened in the past. Have a look at it and learn from it. It's your healing. It's what you're here for, and it's paying attention to that.
Okay.
What that's about. And so it says also, so it's about having a truly embodied appreciation. So the idea of feeling it instead of just looking at it and going, yeah, I accept that. No, really appreciate it, really feel into it, and appreciate that this is, it's kind of like being thankful and being really thankful. It's like someone saying, oh, thanks, not really feeling the thanks. Yeah. Because when we really feel the thanks, that sends a message into our body that we are safe and we're okay.
But it opens up the heart for me.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, it's just an open heart.
Yeah.
For unconditional love to weave through us.
But I mean,
and I like the Venus, and that's what the Venus stands for.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes.
Because Venus stands for this abundance and pleasure, for accepting all goodness in the world, but really be thankful for me. She's like this embodied goddess, like who is never away from the worldly things. No, she embodies all of that and really fills her up with all of that. And so being like the Venus and the cards, to truly appreciate it
Mm.
and to fully embrace it, because then we feel that it's also part of us.
Yeah.
We all have got that within us. But if we only focus on receiving it from the outside, like the wealth or something, like the 7 pentacles, we still sometimes feel a lack. Like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
have enough and everything. It could be more and everything. Whereas when it's embodied, this fullness,
Yeah.
you just
Then you
feel
don't.
it in every cell of your body.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have lack. And then I suppose that's a little bit like what Esther, Abraham Hicks is all about it, and all the mystics, they always talk about being in this embodied state to really, really, really feel. So the idea of when I was doing and still do the Ho'oponopono, the most important thing for the Ho'oponopono, which is those 4 statements, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. It's so important to really, really feel that.
Yes.
Because when you really feel that, as you say, the heart opens up, but the heart has a resonance. I mean, that resonance
Absolutely.
gets so strong.
Yeah.
And that's the resonance that, if we think about the body, and the heart is the first organ that forms, it's the first organ that truly forms, that has a function, almost a proper function, because it's already beating away at 6 weeks. That's how we know I'm sure when you heard Sammy's first heart beat, I'm sure you were excited.
Of course, very,
Yeah.
very, very excited. Most
So
exciting thing in the world.
Yeah.
When you feel like a human being developing in your body, it's like nothing compares to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the way, if you think about how cells develop embryologically, basically it's actually that resonance, that heartbeat, that starts. It leads to the direction where all the cells go in that body of mass of whatever. It directs it. So it's directed by the heart. Yeah. And it's interesting when you look at neurobiology or neuroembryology, they show how cells grow along what looks like a ley line. They actually grow along it, and then they get to their little place. It's quite amazing to think that it does that, but it does. So we know that cells are growing outwardly from a resonant point, and they literally move along to get to their space. I find that so amazingly interesting, that that this ball of mass of whatever, which is, when you look at 100 cells with no differentiation, and all of a sudden they know where to go. And they know where to go because of the heartbeat, the resonance.
Wow.
That original resonance. Yeah. They've connected that now to the resonance. So when your heart is in really good resonance, then it's literally like ley lines going through the whole of your body.
Yeah.
And I think that the acupoints are pretty much the ley lines.
Yes, the nadis.
Yeah, the nadis. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's where it all comes together, the microcosmos and the macrocosmos.
Exactly.
But for the heart to be in resonance, it's a co-creation.
Exactly.
And I keep coming back, for example, the activation of the womb and the intuition. Like, that's why the Unity 8 comes together, if you incorporate the others as well. Because I felt it on my body. If I only do the heart practice, I'm not getting into the same resonance.
No.
If I leave out this other important portal, so also the other chakras are also important. Yeah, so everything needs attention.
They're all important. Yeah.
And this is co-creation. You cannot just focus on one. Yeah, because everything is interconnected. The other needs attention as well. And then, like this ultimate, like, ooh, joygasmic experience. Yeah, then it's really to the heart. When it's total resonance, then we really feel this unconditional love. And it's like, wow, it's like endless possibilities and love. But yeah, sometimes it happens spontaneously, like an awakening like that. But from my experience, it's not stable. Then it goes
All
away
right.
again, because then we are getting triggered by something which has not been resolved yet. And then I was like, oh, what? But I felt so open and like totally in love, and then it's gone. Yeah. So my experience was that also the other parts need attention and integration, like we talked about yesterday. And then we can consciously get to this state, like we know the tools. It could be this meditation, the free place meditation. I think it's very powerful exercise to open this important portals.
Yeah.
And then really setting the intention to now really opening up all the portals. And the more often we do that, the more stable and in resonance it becomes. And that's why I think the Oracle card today is a giveaway.
Oh, the
Which is
giveaway.
very
Oh,
much about
wow.
this, like there's this white light, which was also in your
Aura.
genius aura.
Wow. Oh, she's beautiful. And I can see what looks like ley lines going out of her hands, pushing the energy into, yeah. Wow.
And which then look like the angel wings.
Yes, yes.
And I like this co-creation again, like with all the planets. Yeah,
They're all in alignment, aren't they?
all in alignment. And she's like grabbing the sun. She's holding the sun in her
Mm.
hands.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Yes, she is. So she controls the sun and the earth. Well, not really controls, but she holds both.
Definitely looks like an angel. Also in her face, she has got like wings, like bird wings around her face. So she has
Oh,
got
yeah.
something like a human, but also as an angel. And to me, the giveaway is what we're speaking about. If we are really connected and feeling the wholeness, then we feel the abundance everywhere. And that's why we can give it away abundantly. And like, that's why people say love multiplies when we
Yeah.
pass it on, or abundance abounds the more we just pass it on from this, like with open hearts. Yeah, it's limitless. And
Yeah.
then we can just give it away to everybody.
I wonder if it's about giving away or it just exudes. It's just kind of, yeah, if you like look at children, they don't give it away. It emanates from them. Yeah, when they're happy, and so I wonder if that's what is the giveaway, just the total emanation of joy, or because you can't help yourself when you're happy.
Exactly. You just pass it on. And I mean, what is happiness? This is love and resonance and joy. And joy for me is also ultimate love. Like, and we cannot help ourselves then give it away to others. Yeah, it just happens. Because this is not meant to be kept inside, like
No.
behind closed doors. And then we are in this, like, I'd only give you when you give me. And I'm being like this, like, yeah,
And it's
egoistic
so
self.
hard to be there. Oh my goodness me, it's so hard to be there. I've been there. I know what it's like.
Yeah. So this energy feels very similar to the Venus, the golden earth.
Yeah.
And the rune for today is
Ooh.
Raido.
Raido.
Raido is like to be in the right direction, on the right path, on the right spiritual path, that you're fulfilling your soul purpose. Yeah, so it's like the wheel is turning in the right direction.
Nice. That's a nice affirmation, isn't it?
It certainly is.
If you were ever worried at all, now you know you're absolutely on the right spot.
Exactly.
These synchronicities, yes. And I think we had Raida before, and it does remind me of radio waves and how I just think about that when I think about Raido. I think about radio waves emanate a message. We emanate a message when we're on purpose, when we're doing things purposefully.
Absolutely.
One
Those are those resonance aura radio waves.
Yeah.
And in German, it's actually called Rad, the wheel.
All right.
So that's why I always have to think about the Rad when I see this. This is the R, the big R, first letter
right.
of the word Rad, wheel. And we spoke yesterday that this is an alphabet as well.
Yes.
So a lot of this look like letters from the Germanic, old Indo-Germanic alphabet.
In the German sort of alphabet, Strasse is spelt with like a B, isn't it? Straba.
Straße?
Yeah, it's when you look in German, it kind of looks like a B.
It's a double S.
A double S, yeah.
It's a double S and it looks like a B. True. Similar. Mm-hmm. A bit complex in German language with this double S. The other Indo-Germanic languages don't have this one. Also, there's like there's like an O with 2 dots, or a U with 2 dots. Only German language has got that. Which makes German language actually a difficult language to learn, people say. Well, I mean, I find Russian more difficult, but it's still difficult, I think, German language.
I think there's a lot of I think German has a lot of also tenses, doesn't it? Different kinds of words of tenses and different quite a lot of different meanings for certain.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, Spanish doesn't have they don't particularly have word order necessarily so much in the same way. I know that when I did it Latin at school, people will know how old I am then.
I had Latin at school.
Did you?
Yeah. I chose to do Latin. I had the choice between Italian and Spanish, and I chose Latin because it makes it easier to learn other languages easier. But I forgot most of it because it's a dead language. You don't speak it really, so I forgot lots of it, most of it.
Well, it was so funny. I was busy, Andrew and I were doing a crossword puzzle the other morning,
Yeah.
And there was a clue, which was a cryptic clue, which was something to do with a Latin tribe. And I got it because it's the Etruscans. And I immediately sort of said, oh, but I'd only known about it because I had done Latin. And in Latin, we had to kind of talk about how the Romans had slaughtered the Etruscans.
Oh gosh, yes.
So,
Well, they
yeah,
slaughtered quite a lot of people.
they certainly did. They certainly did. They had a field day.
Are you doing any particular ritual on this special day or days?
Well, I will definitely be doing I will be doing a ritual, and that will be tomorrow. I am going to be doing one of the rituals online. So I'll be following one of those. And then I will do my own. I think I will do one with looking at the Palladians. I will meditate on that today and make a decision, because as we said, we both have experienced the Palladians in different ways in our life. And you up in thing, but me having a kind of hypnotic regression and landed there. So I definitely think I need to be part of it. And also then, the idea that I have walked on Uluru, so I'm going to connect back to that, definitely. Spend a little time in contemplation, particularly around the time of the awakening of the crystals. And I want to do more looking in on the stories sitting behind Ashira of the Tree of Life. I want to find out more because, given what I had an experience of, I feel that I need to find out more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be doing a little more research on that. Which I'll do tomorrow. And, obviously there's other things that we have to do and I want to do too, because we're still trying to see whether we can get our journals done.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get them done. It's just a question of if we finish it by next Wednesday. And we will have them done eventually, I'm sure.
If not for Christmas, it will be somewhere soon after that.
I will plan it until Christmas because I'm going totally offline for the Sacred 12 Nights until the 6th of January. This is part of my ritual.
Mm-hmm. It's also part of your connecting and bringing yourself back into full presence, isn't it?
Yes. And I experience it so special. Like, I don't know, since teenager years, I'm always using those times, those 12 nights between the years. Very special. We are very close to our ancestors, to spirit guides, and they can only show themselves so fully when we're really present to them and not distracted. Like I'm working mostly online the whole day, and it's a totally different experience. If we really switch off and just focus on those energies and to invite in your ear like that. And we get more downloads if we switch off from the outside distractions and then focus inside, then we get much more downloads.
So what happens with Sammy in that time? Is he able to occupy himself?
If he's going to, sorry, I didn't understand the question.
So when you have these times like that, how do you manage that with Sammy?
Well, he can still use the internet and everything.
So he's able to.
I don't allow, I mean, he's got his own personality and yeah, so I it's not like I'm not allowing him to do the whole online things, and I still watch movies with him. Like he cannot wait until today we finish, because we go to my friend who's also like a shaman magician, a very dear friend of mine, and we're going to watch the third Harry Potter movie.
Very nice. So he is in his element.
Oh yes. And my friend, he really makes the whole atmosphere like Harry Potter, and everything what we cook is in Harry Potter style. He even orders like the beer from the Harry Potter movie, and everything aligned with the whole Harry Potter theme. It's like really magical. You go in there and you're like, woo, in this Harry Potter world, and it's like really magical, beautiful.
Nice. Well, somebody is gonna love that.
Oh, he does love it. It became like a real like ceremony, and it's already the third movie where we go there, and yeah, and it's really special. You really look forward to it because it's really special. And for me, I also get into this world, the whole magical world now. I never watched that before. When I started to read the books before in the past, it didn't hook me.
Yeah. Oh, but you're seeing it through different eyes now, aren't you?
Yeah. And now I'm really part in this whole magical world, like speaking snakes, and when we speak about it, like looking through the eyes of a child, or like my friend, he's himself then in this magical wizard world, because he has got like his own magical stick and everything, and it's really like a friend who is a magician, a true magician. And then I relive my fantastical child world again, like. And already the last movie we watched, where it was like about the speaking snakes, it brought me lots of new downloads.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I need to watch them again, because I think, you know what I think is that these, which was what Nazam Haramin was saying, all the kinds of things that we kind of see in what kind of witchery or science fiction, they're actually basically they've been there in that realm, so that actually people haven't really cast it out, but in actual fact it allowed it to enter the psyche of people again. You know, for so many years nobody was paying attention to all this magical aspect.
Exactly.
And now it's becoming more, it is more mainstream, so nobody's thought it's weird, and we're opening ourselves up to that world again, which was so much part of the human world at one time.
Yeah, so that's why I want to bring out everything weird. T-shirts, weird is the new normal. Like the V Moon calendar for next year says, Weird is the new in. Lee Harris, the astrologer I'm always following, he also said in his last podcast, weird is the new normal. I will bring out also like the cups, t-shirts, I plan to do everything with weird, because this is the future.
Yeah.
Even the scientists now say, may the vacuum be with you. And I say, may the weird be with you. Brave to be weird is my hashtag. I start to write everywhere. This is the time, yeah. Weird is the new normal. And this is this unexplainable, magical word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking of when I mentioned the mother of Sheila Sophia with her 93-year-old, how she sits there and brings out her measuring meters. And I thought, like, I want to do that with the weird.
And you will.
And we are currently acquainting ourselves with all those skills, how to open Etsy shop. Yeah, and this is something I'm going to use the time for as well, like to do the courses, how to learn how to do those t-shirts. Or this is not being online, but using this time constructively to set an intention for the new year and acquaint yourself with new skills which you need to fulfill this long-term vision, and focus on that as well. So I will use this time as well to read up on how to do those t-shirts and everything. And you, Brandy, are such a great inspiration to me, because you're very successful with your Etsy shop, and I admire that. I think you're a great example for us.
We're modeling you. We're modeling you.
Yes.
Because it's so, and I'm so excited, really, because it's something that's so new for me, and a new way of being, a new way of thinking about things. It's so exciting, really.
Yes, I also find it very exciting. And it's a new field, even though I was always so creative, but I never thought about like how to run a shop or how to build it and how to think about monetizing it. This is very new, isn't it? Like when we started our movement with the Weaving Wealth movement, that brought me a great transformation in that I've been giving those gifts, for purpose, and we can reach much more people if we start to build a structure like for selling those things, like being it the matryoshkas, which we've been doing, or the Bereginis, and using all those multiple gifts.
And the thing is, I think when you start, you don't necessarily always see it in the form of how you're going to monetize, because that's not what you think about straight away with your gifts. You think about sharing first, but you don't think about necessarily how can I make my money from that. That comes a little bit later.
Yes.
Because when you're so enmeshed in what you do, it's not your first thought, it's your second thought. Afterwards you go, this is interesting. Maybe I can do something with this. So, and it's an evolution. It's all an evolution in how to look at it as a not just as a product, but as something that is going to, I think now the reason, because we've looked at it from a completely different way, in the sense of this is about how we help people, how we help women learn to connect to the goddess in a different way. How you can use it as a new way of being, And I think until we had got to that level or that space enough, it's like you always got to jump into each different outside orbital. If I think of the atom, so you have your start, and then you kind of, and you've got the drawing of the six phases, from inside out. It's the same thing. You just jump from orbit to orbit to orbit to orbit. So it's a natural progression and I think it's a very organic progression. And you and I are quite organic beings.
Yes.
We quite like just working organically and seeing how it goes. And
Yes.
that's based on feeling,
Yes, and opening up the space and feeling what is emerging, not rush ahead already mindlessly,
But knowing we're going somewhere. And that's the thing. It's not like we're staying in one direction. We know we're moving forward. It's just, and at some points it'll move faster than at others. But we're laying the foundation now.
Exactly.
Which is the key. The structure.
Those are the important intentions, which are like seeds planted, and only then when they're being looked after and cared for, can they open up. But without laying the seeds, well, nothing happens.
It has no place. Yeah, we've got to lay the seed.
And it is already coming up to an hour.
Leave it.
So what are your final words, if you have got any?
I think I'm just thinking what's emerging here for me, in the sense of I think it's just being open to receive. Just be open to receive, and all healing happens when we open to receive. When we open to receive the healing, when we open to receive love, because the moment we're open to receive that, we can give it.
And then it's a true giveaway.
Yes, a true giveaway.
Yeah, and for me, since this theme is like the healer, it's really healing the scarcity wound, like the book Soul of Money and by Lynn Twist. She writes about it, that the biggest wound in us humans is like the lack wound. And it's like when we spoke about all those ley lines around the world, if those ley lines are just not whole, but filled with the scarcity mindset, we cannot move forward, cannot rebirth something new if we don't heal the scarcity wound. So for me, it's like healing the scarcity wound to move forward in the new year and beyond, with this new foundation based on abundance on all levels.
There's enough for everyone.
There's enough for everyone. And if we just give away our deep gifts, and then we can really give away what is most precious, like our true selves, our gifts, which we are here to share with the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are. Good.
Those are my final words.
Those are mine too. Yeah. Be aware. And just see everything as the gift. Receive it as the gift, so that you can heal. Allow yourself to receive it. Yeah. And I think the scarcity wound is such an important one to work with, because it fits in so many people's lives. And even if they've grown up thinking that they haven't got it, there's always going to be somewhere where there was a no that made you feel as though you didn't have. And it's maybe even just a tiny thing, but it can have an imprint. So it's just being aware of all the imprints of just little things and the meaning making that we made from that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. So nice on this beautiful day.
Thank
so
you,
nice.
everybody.
Yes, very nice and sunny.
Yeah, have a wonderful time with the Beregini of the healing. And we will see you tomorrow, the great winter solstice, great conjunction day. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that star, because even my partner said to me today, he said, when is the conjunction? I'm going to go and look up and see where it is. And he's got nothing. He's not into astrology, but he really wants to see this conjunction.
Well, I think it's more about feeling it, because we are not really going to see anything on this like hemisphere, but we can certainly feel it.
I think they're saying that we should be able to see it.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's
okay.
why I posted that the other day. Yeah, we're meant to be able to see it. That's why it got this very big thing. Yeah, even in the normal world, not in the spiritual realm.
Well, I will definitely go out tomorrow. Here it's supposed to be at 11:02.
All right. Okay.
Open to receive whatever wants, to be received.
Yes, we'll go and be awake. Take care, mother. Okay.
Take care. May the healer be with you.
Yes. Well, we could be a Spock and we could do this. I don't know whether you ever watched Star Trek. Did you ever watch? So it wasn't your era, but it's my era, as Vulcans would say, from my mind to your mind, my heart to your heart. Yeah, we go my yoni to your yoni. We are all joined. There we are.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.